weeks there, then a 3 weeks here, and then a 1 week here, and then it adds up. But you don't look like you've been missing. And then there's a couple of that, and then obviously the Sakas, the Kai Havertz's, the Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, another injury prone one. The Sakas, the Martinellis, the Kai Havertz's, whether you rate them or not, your more durable players are gonna get run into the ground. So it's almost a fallacy, really and truly, when you break it down. Again, people, if we carry this on, people, the Sun have put this behind the paywall. We've bypassed it. Arsenal files what really happened in Arteta's Old Trafford interview as the Gunners target 12.5 La Liga star transfer. More La Liga players, people. And it's not going to go anywhere with Berta being Italian, but obviously joining Arsenal from a Spanish club. I'm going to go over this. Apparently, Arteta had about 9 interviews. You know, you would have seen him storm off in the aftermath of the Manchester United one, where he did look rattled. But to be fair, he was dealing with BS. I want to scroll the way down. Obviously, Declan Rice had a bit of a joke with his celebration at midweek. Big up Zinchenko, and what a goal that was. I mean, this picture tells there's so many things to unpack from this picture. Lewis Skelly, Ashley Cole shouts, and plus England call-ups. Raheem Sterling, nice to see you get 2 assists, but your struggles continue. Kivior, forgot a man that's starved of minutes. Is that Ben White behind Zinchenko? I think so. But yeah, coming back from fitness. Jorginho actually played. Watching the PSV game again, he was unusually quite poor, in my opinion. Tierney's days are numbered, unfortunately. Zinchenko's got a year left on his deal, people. So we'll have to see. Apparently, the Bernabeu will soon play host to Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, a tie that brings back memories of Thierry Henry's match-winning goal to down David Beckham and his fellow Galacticos in 05-06. Great memories. That season, Arsenal reached the final in Paris, eventually losing to Barcelona 2-1 with 30 minutes to play, and we lost to the referee. 19 years on, there's a 19-year-old Arsenal fan out there that ain't seen us win trophies. And it feels like it could be one step too far for this team with no recognized striker to knock out Mbappe, Bellingham, and Vinicius en route to another final. But Sunsport understands there are those in the know in the Madrid press pack that feel the Gunners now have more of a chance to reach the semi-final, smash the like button, after avoiding a 2-legged tie against Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone's Atletico would have put up an ugly fight, but at least we know what we're getting into, like they always do, and shut up shop with a low block for 180 minutes or more, something Arsenal struggle to break down this term. In comparison, Real will surely attack from the off. That may just make the 50-50 tie with Arsenal if Arsenal can find their shooting boots and be brave with the ball when space opens up. Anytime we have to start sentences with if, it gets a bit political. Espanyol, Arsenal have been linked with their goalkeeper, but also one of their fullbacks. Sunsport understands that Arsenal are keeping tabs on versatile Espanyol fullback Omar El Elahi. Forgive me for any mispronunciation, people. Smash the like button. Who's believed to have a release clause of about 12.5 million quid. El Elahi can play as a winger, something Arteta likes in his recruit. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I think they mean multi-functionality. The Moroccan is just 21 with a contract until 2027 and is also being looked at by Barcelona. He leads La Liga in terms of successful tackles, resulting in ball recoveries with 63 this term. Arsenal are also keen on Espanyol goalkeeper Joan Garcia for the summer, needing a number 2 to come in to compete with David Raya when Neto returns to Bournemouth. Garcia could cost upwards of 25 million. In that scenario, that Espanyol do not want to sell both their stars in the same window, Arsenal and Arteta may have a tricky decision on their hands. And then you look at it, games played, this Al-Hilali guy has played 26 games, equating to 2,202 minutes, made 91 tackles, has 38 fouls, passed 840 times, no goals, and 163 tackles. Normally on a Champions League night at the Emirates, the Arsenal players cannot wait to shower, change, and get home, speedily walking through the mix zone where journalists often stand towards the car park. But on Tuesday night, after a 2-2 draw with PSV, they were nowhere to be seen. Instead, they were huddled around the TV in the dressing room, watching their penalty shootout between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid to find out their quarterfinal opponents. It's believed that among them were Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. I mean, is this really newsworthy? Is this really newsworthy? But nonetheless, just to give you a lot of context, both watching the game from the stands as they continue to recover from their respective injuries. Zinchenko and Calafiori eventually came out to conduct interviews sometime after, the former revealing the reaction to the result among the squad. The Ukrainian said, "How can you cheer? It was a mixed feeling. No one said anything. It was just mixed emotions." Just stop talking, bro. Just stop. I'm being harsh on Zinchenko, but just stop talking. Why is it mixed emotions? What the fuck does any of the Madrid teams have going with us? And again, I'm being a bit harsh. But just say we knew, just say something PR-y, like we knew he was going to play one of them. Don't give any inkling as to how we feel. Why are we feeling mixed? Is it because we're excited but also scared of Real Madrid? Was we more expecting Atletico? You know, did the gaffer maybe in jest in a light-hearted comment say we'd rather face Atletico? I would rather face Atletico. They do not have the stars that Real Madrid have. Yes, we struggle to break down low blocks, but it's better the devil. Well, we know what Real Madrid are, but it's better the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. Atletico are going to come, do what we do, stink out the place. Which surely we have more of a chance of that. If we get 2 chances and Madrid get 2 chances, are we going to bag? On the best of days, I don't know if we're going to bag. But we've got Marino potentially up front. I don't think Arteta is going to try anything different in terms of personnel or his formation. I don't know. But to be the best, you got to beat the best. If we want to win a champs, you got to be around this, innit? And I'm not going to lie, this picture is scary, bro, because this ain't even all the guys. And this is, you know, if you're an attacker playing against Real Madrid or you're a defender playing against Real Madrid and their acquaintance to the individual battles, this is where you see what's going on. Smash the like button. Samuel Porto does look good, man. Love United. Sorry, love Arsenal, hate the ops. There's one of you called Love United, hate the ops as well. Big up yourself, man. And as the man said, smash the like button. D, brother, we need to focus on the end of the season performances as it's very unlikely to pass through Madrid, to be honest. Let's give a goal without expectations, but push for second spot guarantees. I mean, all we can do is win games, innit? Like, try our best to win and see where the Champions League takes us. We need to be solidifying our top 4 shouts, essentially. Like, there's nothing else to play for beyond that. And we've got some difficult games. Look at our next 5 games, people. Chelsea tomorrow, Fulham on the 1st of April, Everton away, Madrid at home, Brentford at home. You can't really call them. Like, I think we're going to beat Chelsea. Fulham, I'm scared. I will be honest. Everton, I think we're going to draw, low block, stink up the place. I hope we can take something going into the away leg in Spain at the Bernabeu against Madrid. I reckon we're more likely to win at our place than theirs. I don't know, though. Brentford at home's techie, but the games, it is what it is. Henri said it best, DG. If you don't believe you can win versus Madrid, why bother turning up? I agree with him. Ancelotti versus Arteta is nuts because people, like, bro, big up. Hey, this is why you're my guy, man. I hope you're subscribed. People think Ancelotti can't do low blocks, bro. People don't rate Ancelotti for his tactics. I don't know why. I think one thing I like about Carlo, he adapts to his players. I think that's sometimes a gift and a curse because when you got what Madrid have, when you've had what you've had at AC Milan, he doesn't need to do too much. When you got what you had at Everton, or even at Chelsea, when you had at Everton, it's going to stink up the place. Carlo can play a deep block. Carlo can play pressing. Carlo can make little tweaks on the pitch. Like you might see a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. But, you know, Valverde's doing little things out wide. This one's making little runs. Carlo Ancelotti is significantly more experienced than Arteta. Our players are significantly less experienced than theirs. This is the reality. And these are the games across the 2 legs. You're going to see the fine margins. I think we're going to compete. I don't think we're going to get embarrassed. I think we're going to give a go of it. But all that matters is getting through. And if they have 2 chances, you see what time it is. You know, it went to penalties. Yeah, there's a touch of fortune. Atletico did well in that regards. You know, Atletico, I think, tactically did very well. Especially people underestimate Mbappe and Bellingham's link up in particular. They shut that off for the majority of the game. But what's the one time they didn't, people? It's when Mbappe got the ball, did that little dribble and won a penalty, in which Vinicius, horrible penalty from Vinicius. You can't keep them quiet for 180 minutes. But we just have to, for me, we have to believe in ourselves as a minimum. Like, believe, I'm not on this Mighty Ducks thing, just believing for the sake of it. But we need to believe that they bleed just like us, that we can give it a go. And I want us to be fearless. If we lose against Madrid, it's not, obviously, you know how the articles are going to be. Arsenal ain't got mentality. Where do they go from here? But you know what the next 2 weeks would be. But generally, if we lose to Madrid, most football fans, even the ones that would banter us, it's expected. Like, it's expected. If you win, obviously it's headlines. So if people believe you're going to lose, if you don't think you're better than them, psychologically believe in yourselves. Because this is where we see our true level. This is the realm we want to be in. You played Bayern Munich last year. Definitely learn what you need to learn across those 2 legs. Real Madrid is a different ball game. But yeah, you look at Bayern Munich, look at Real Madrid, you look at them and they're at the pinnacle, innit? At the absolute pinnacle. These are the teams they're mix and blending around. I don't know how it would be if we played PSG in the next round, assuming we beat Madrid. Because I think PSG have kind of found this little sweet spot of form and everything's coming together. I think we played them at the best time, but that should give you some element of belief. No, he's still a bad coach, DG. Watch his games. He gets bailed out due to individual brilliance and sheer quality. The only thing he has in his locker is his man management. Tactically, he's average. I mean, it's crazy that we can sit on YouTube and mutter that about Carlo Ancelotti. You don't achieve what he's achieved in the game being average tactically. I don't know what people want him to see. Do you want to see him play five strikers? Every manager under the sun gets bailed out by individual quality. To say Carlo Ancelotti is a bad coach, I can't lie, my guy. You're smoking budge. You're smoking mad budge. Please do a City watch along. I'm not going to be able to get everything set up in time, if I'm honest. Martinelli up front, if he's healthy. I'm not necessarily keen on Martinelli up front, but with the current climate that we face, I can't lie, we could do a lot worse. I don't want to see Marino. Berta will be scouting Real for this summer. Arteta gets 8 months to show up. If he can't, he will get sacked. I don't think that's going to happen, man. He's here, man. Remember, Liverpool beat Madrid and they did not like the high tempo and pressing, but you have to do it for 180 minutes. You have to do it for 180 minutes. The game at the Emirates and the game over there are going to be very different. You cannot switch off for a second. You are going to need individual brilliance, and you're also going to need to just get through. Because Madrid, typically, when they've won the champs, they haven't been the best team necessarily across the two legs in the route, well, from the first knockout stage all the way to winning it. But they've got it done. So, yeah, man. They can sack him, bro. They can sack him. But I just think in general, you can never call Carlo Ancelotti a bad coach. Carlo Ancelotti, if he's a bad coach, people might as well pack up, mate. A bad coach, Carlo. Pursued Raya for years, only to move for Garcia. This is a clown move. Also, DG Berta ain't going to do nothing. According to Ornstein, Zubimendi transfers in advanced talks. Do we actually need him? I'm on signing Zubimendi. I just feel like if we just assume Partey's gone and Zubimendi comes in, I think it's a bit too lightweight personally in our midfield. So I have to see. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a clown move if Garcia is going to be our number 2. And you never know with Arteta. I do wonder for Garcia finally making inroads in playing regular football in the last 2 seasons for Espanyol, being 23, being significantly less experienced than Raya. Raya not being the oldest of keepers. Raya being one of I'm not saying he's the best keeper in the world, but he is one of the best keepers in the world, and he's one of our more consistent players. How long would you be the number 2? Now, the only caveat to that is we've seen Mikel Arteta isn't scared to change it up. I wouldn't say it's a clown move, though, man. But yeah, we do need. I just want to see us sort out the goalies. For me, bring in this Garcia guy if you want it. We will link with Dan Bentley of Wolves. He's clearly going to be the third choice. Bring him in. That's your third choice. That also helps with homegrown rulings as well, man. Saka is the most durable with the amount of kicks he gets. Hamstring injury is on Arteta. It sounds mad to say it, but Saka was due one of these long-term layoffs. Didn't Saka have the most minutes last season or something? He's definitely got maybe in world football, but I can't quantify that. But in Premier League football, 100% Saka is one of the most played players. The only time Arteta was really subbing him is down that period last season where we was thumping up teams, clearing them out by halftime. Saka, with a couple of games, Saka was on a brace and Arteta would take him off. I've seen some shit players get a hat-trick, man. You saw in Europa League, Bruno Fernandes's hat-trick was smelly. Amad Diallo's hat-trick this season was smelly. Nicholas Jackson's one either this season or last season against Spurs was smelly. All the stuff Saka's done, I want to see him get a hattie, man. But I'm just moaning about things you don't need to moan about. David Ornstein has been speaking, people. Apparently, David Ornstein on reports of the potential 300 billion spend this summer at Arsenal. I'm not aware of specific numbers, but Arsenal recently posted healthy financial results. There will definitely be room to maneuver. I'd expect it to be a pretty busy summer at the Emirates. I hope so, but for every kind of bullish chat you're saying there, we hear that we also hear journalists say we need to sell before we can buy. Clearly, I mean, I haven't worked at Arsenal, but financially, we're good. It's what the club's remit is. And I do think as much as we want to sort out the left-hand side, sort out the depth, bring in a striker, midfielder, winger, I do think there's going to be an emphasis on sorting out contracts and flushing players out, people. So we'll have to watch this space carefully. On Zubimendi, Ornstein said, as far as we know, Martin Zubimendi is at a very advanced stage, and the anticipation inside Arsenal is that he's coming in. If that gets completed, it's a significant financial outlay, as will be the case if and when a striker is signed. There's also other areas to do, possible wide attacker, awaiting Nepan's decision, perhaps something in defense, 1 or 2 goalkeepers. And although there'll be exits, I'm not sure recruiting Zubimendi and Bruno Gomares would be feasible, even if Berta did want that. So there you have it. And he also said, I think if Arsenal are going to commit huge expense on a striker, and if Zubimendi gets done, it's surely inevitable they'll need to be resource. I think they mean resources raised from a sell or multiple. It wouldn't shock me to see a notable player depart this summer. I mean, from the first year of the title challenge to now, and what would be the fourth, of course, you're not going to have the same team for 4 years. And we've needed to build on this, and we've dropped the ball. Zini's gone. Well, no, sorry. On paper, Tini's gone, Jorginho's gone, Thomas Partey's gone, Zinchenko's got a year left, Trossard's got a year left, Kivior might have offers from elsewhere. Had Tomiyasu and Gabriel Jesus not be long-term absentees, They might be ones thrown in. Got to deal with the Lokongas, the Tavares, the Fabio Vieira's, yada, yada, yada. You lot get where I'm going with it, people. On Partey and Jorginho, it's not settled yet, as far as I'm aware, but a very good chance it may be influenced by the status of potential arrivals in that position. You could make a case of Jorginho being more likely to stay. You could make a case of Partey being more likely to stay. On paper, both are gone right now, isn't it? He said, this is a personal opinion rather than sourced information. I don't see Arsenal signing both Martin Zubimendi and Bruno Guimaraes. I don't believe we will. I think we'll be lucky to sign either one. Zubimendi, just based on the release clause and the alleged groundwork, it seems like that is the one that's more feasible. I do think Guimaraes is more likely to be sold than Isaac, but come on, dream chasing. We know of the historical Guimaraes links, but that ship seemed to have sailed, and I'm not sure I can envisionize Arsenal paying the kind of money Newcastle would ask for, especially given he turns 28 this year. So you'd have him at 28, potentially keeping one of Jorginho and Partey. Marino's 28, 29, if not older. We'll have to see. We've gone over this, but once again, Sunsport understands that Arsenal are keeping tabs on Espanyol fullback Omar El Alahi, 21, who is believed to have a release clause of 12.5 million. Arsenal are also keen on goalkeeper Garcia for the summer, who could cost upwards of 25 million. People, what else have we got? Again, we've gone over that with David Ornstein. Arsenal are mulling over which way to expand the Emirates Stadium after being presented with a variety of options by the architectural design firm. And increased capacity would likely require approval by Islington Council as well as Transport for London. I hear that naturally. Saliba has assured Arsenal he has no plans to join Real Madrid this summer. What about the summer of 2026? We're on a free in 2027. Give the man his deal. Saliba has no intention of leaving Arsenal despite Real Madrid being ready to pay a world record fee for a defender, says Fabrizio Romano, people. And I mean, if they get Trent and to go with all the stars, Saliba will play for them one day. Apparently, Real Madrid are watching closely over Saliba contract extension plans at the Emirates with his deal up in 2027 and talks planned with Mikel Arteta in June. Arsenal's lack of trophies could also impact Saliba's decision, with the 23-year-old currently valued at 80 million euros, and he's never been shy of his desire in recent days actually to win stuff with Arsenal, but wanting to win trophies for his team, his teammates, himself, and also to be recognized as quote-unquote one of the best defenders in the world, man. Arsenal have been linked with Morgan Gibbs-White, who you're owed nothing in life, but I think he should count himself like a couple of players, him and probably Jed Spence on the top of my head. Bit unfortunate for you lot that you weren't called up in Thomas Tuchel's side. Arsenal, City, United, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur, Spurs, apologies, are all interested in signing Morgan Gibbs-White. A modest bid of around 50 million could be enough to get the deal done. I can't. Maybe, well, you know what? It costs less than Guimaraes. Maybe there's scope for Zubimendi and Morgan Gibbs-White. English, 50 million is a lot less than whatever Guimaraes' employers are going to ask for. I don't know. Saka is. Oh, sorry, seen that already. So yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White. Arsenal and Liverpool are among the clubs keen on signing Lyon's 19-year-old winger Malik Fofana this summer, shunning the Europa League. Lyon got a couple of kids you'd want to poach, man. Their striker Ernest, obviously Malik Fofana, Cherky. I'm keeping an eye on that on Ajax, to be fair, man. Hato could sign for us, and their young Belgian lad that they signed for Anderlecht that's been there 2 minutes has been called up to the Belgian national team as well. Courtois has actually been recalled. Arsenal and Liverpool target Isaac says he'll probably speak to Newcastle about a new contract in the summer. Bayern Munich have renewed their interest in signing Nico Williams, but will face competition from Arsenal, allegedly, folks. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid have both held talks about a move for Thomas Partey, who will become a free agent this summer. Liverpool have joined Arsenal on the trail of 17-year-old Ayot Boadi, who has been dubbed Leo's most exciting talent since Eden Hazard. I mean, you've seen him play multiple times. He played against Dortmund now. I'm sure you played against Juventus or PSG or one of them. Either way, you've shunned for Leon at 17 in some big Champions League games. And I mean, maybe you switch your allegiances, but you will get a French cap. And, you know, you look at him, Warren Zaire-Emery. I know Doué's been called up to the French national team. I won't say you are unlucky, but you're unlucky that you're French, where it's all fun and games being talented. But you look at France are just littered with talent. You all know this, people. You watch football. Liverpool want to sign Julian Alvarez and could offer more than 100 million euros in the next market. Apparently, they were prepared to part ways with Luis Diaz to City if they could get Alvarez in the summer. Could Berta do something for us here? Is there something he should be looking at? Potentially. Spurs are ready to offer a significant sum to beat Chelsea and Napoli to the signing of Semenyo. Semenyo's not really linked with Arsenal, but here and there, and I'm sure some of you would like it. It's understood that Arsenal were approached about hosting the Euro 2028 games, but declined. The Emirates Stadium has instead chosen to free up the summer 2028 calendar for events and concerts, while presenting an opportunity to get any stadium expansion complete. We've gone over that. Lewis Skelly in line for midfield role. What has been said here from our title. He's very intelligent, very willing, and very physical. If you have those three ingredients and you have the personality that can go through blips, it can happen. That is Miles. That is what he has done. And he still said he can do it as an 8 and as a 6. It will depend a lot on the relationships and the chemistry with other players, how this evolves within the team, and football, which direction it goes, what demands of certain positions as well. He's certainly a player that can play in a lot of positions, which is going to help you undoubtedly. Again, Bayern Munich are the latest team to be linked with Nico Williams. Arsenal should hold the advantage in their bid to land Nico Williams in the upcoming summer transfer window. Arsenal are understood to be closing in on a move to sign the Bilbao star, according to a report. I mean, he's registered 16 goal contributions, 9 goals and 7 assists in 36 games across all comps, people. Christian Flock has said Bayern Munich are eyeing him up, people. He won't be cheap. He's earning like 200 grand a week, and he'll cost about 50.5 million all the way to 67.3 million. Like, ain't he got a release clause? Does it change? I don't know, people. Apparently, SofaScore, which some of you basically watch football games on, he's considered the 5th best player in La Liga and the 3rd best in the Europa League. Yeah, I don't think his numbers are that